Hey everybody, DeLongShot Signatures here. We are at part 3 for the Indy 500 in-person autograph recap that I've got. We are talking 109 autographs between Saturday and Sunday for qualifications. I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Tyler, who I've seen at the races the past several years, and his advice for Saturday. I took it, and boy did it pay off. So I got to combine that experience with my previous experiences to really do fantastic on Saturday. Saturday alone was 77 autographs. I have not been counting the pulls that I got towards that number, so add one to each video because I had one pulled autograph for each video that I did. But this one was really cool. Sucks that he crashed today and will not be in the front row or anything, but one of my favorite drivers to watch. I pulled a Scott McLaughlin autograph from the Parkside Cards. He actually used the space that was given to them, and even though his signature isn't much, I'm always happy to get one of his. So we will start off with the cards, and I actually kind of put them in a particular order, particularly towards the end, because there's just a couple of really awesome ones. We're going to start off with a Kiffin Simpson autograph. Just pulled an extra one of these, put it in the binder, and I was running with a silver Sharpie towards the end of the day. He'll stop and sign for most people. Don't really need his autograph just because it's not much of one, but hey, an autograph's an autograph. Was able to get Jacob Abel as he was leaving from qualifying. He wasn't in the greatest mood. I don't even know how the bottom four turned out, so I'll have to look into that, but we'll see if he made the race. Before I get into the next few autographs, just to kind of explain the advice that I was given. So when they do their qualifications, they draw the night before for the order that they go in. They go in that order, and when they're done, they do their qualification photo, usually with the team and everything, paint scheme, get all that. It's just a yearly tradition that they do that's really nice. And then they go to the pagoda, they do some rounds of interviews, and then there's a little section where a portion of the drivers, not every driver, but a good amount of the drivers, will come through and sign some autographs for fans after they're done with their media. So I was able to get a bunch of stuff signed there, including some one awesome success that I can't wait to share with you guys. I don't remember exactly who all I got there, just a handful of them, but we'll continue with the autographed cards. Got 2 of David Malukas. I'm pretty sure that I got these as he was going through the line. Some drivers only stopped for a few fans, but a lot of the drivers that did stop to signed for just about everyone. Got one from Ryan Hunter-Reay. I think this was at his garage. And then Santino Ferrucci during the post media. Got 2 more from Alex Pillow. Signed those after media. I got 2 from Christian Lundgaard. I don't remember if that was at the McLaren Suites or not. Got 1 more from Connor Daly as he was wrapping up his... actually, I think it was before he went to qualify because I didn't see him after qualifications. So I got that before. Finally, got Christian Rasmussen during the post-media stuff. He, and I'll show you guys the cards I got signed later. He and Scott McLaughlin were like right next to each other because Scott was taking a while and Christian was going through pretty quick. And so by the time Scott got to me, Christian was right there. So Scott signed my stuff. I leaned down to put away my autograph from Scott, stood up, and Christian had gotten past me. But I was like, Christian, can get me? And he was like, oh, I didn't even see you there. And so he signed those, which was nice that he came back because I couldn't get him at the garages for whatever reason. I got 3 from Renus VK. I said, just sign whatever you have time for. He's like, I got time for all. And then one of the people from Dale Coyne Racing kind of stepped ahead of him. He was, still a few people away from signing for me. And he was like, sorry, I just wanted to look at the cards. I haven't seen them yet. He's like, I really like this one. I was like, I might have Firehawk sign it too. I didn't, but would have been funny. Got Stingray in the garages. He was one of the ones that I was surprised who snubbed during the post-media stuff. I guess Junko's Hollinger probably just had them go to a meeting immediately afterwards. Pato, I think I got this while waiting. Or I got him later. I don't remember what it was. Got 2 more from Kiffin Simpson. Oh, I guess I should have kept those together. That one, yeah, I got after qualifications. This one and this one I got... Actually, I don't remember if I got those then. Either way, he really liked this card. He was like, that's really cool looking. He almost didn't want to sign it, but I was like, that'd be great to have autographed. Here's the Scott card that I got signed. He gave a really good autograph on this one. Very similar to the one that's there. We got Marcus Ericsson on one. I think this was the last card that I needed for that set of him. I got Chip Ganassi as he was walking back to the garage area. He didn't seem super thrilled that I asked him for an autograph, but he still signed it. Joseph Newgarden at his garage. This one turned out pretty good. This one he kind of gave up on. So that one definitely would not pass any certification. I got this guy twice during the day, and I was like, he's been really tough to get, but whenever I get a chance to get his autograph, I'll just ask for whatever he's willing to sign, and it'll help out with last year's Parkside set. So in the morning, I finally saw him at his garage. He was signing for a few people, and I go up. I'm like, hey, Dev, whatever you have time for, I'd really appreciate. And he's like, I got to get going. He's like, I can do a few of those for you. And because he was trying to be quick, I think he was going to sign all of them, but he used someone else's marker. And even though these cards were prepped, that marker I don't think was made for trading cards, because this was the best signature that came out. Now, if you know Devlin's autograph, it's already not that great, but this looks like it was printed on and it was running out of ink. But he signed 3 of them. This is how the second one turned out. It looks like a dead stamp. And this one, because it's dark spotted, you can barely see it. And I think he felt bad, so he stopped signing. But thankfully, I did get to see him later after his qualification runs, and he was willing to stop and sign, but we were kind of in the middle of the walkway where they had all the cars going. So we kind of shifted over to the left so that he could sign these cards, which he did in blue, came out much better. And we shifted to the left because there was a cart that was pulling by. And then after he was done signing for me, I was like, okay, they're yelling at us. I got to get out of the way. So I ran out. Almost got hit by a cart. So that wouldn't have been cool. But I got out just in time to not have that happen. It's dangerous being in those garages. I saw 2 people almost get into a fist fight while trying to get these autographs. Takuma Sato signed 2 of these cards for me. I was just surprised he signed either one of them. But he was about ready to get into his car, and he was, moving. He's like, walk with me and everything. And there was just a bunch of us, and 2 guys, I guess, were like bumping into each other, like trying to, get one step ahead of each other. And they were grabbing each other by the shirts and getting in each other's faces and yelling, and they had to get split up and everything. And it's like, that ain't worth it, If you bump into each other, obviously like apologize and stuff, but like it's part of the mess. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna bump elbows. You're gonna trip over people. Like, you're grown men. Act like it. This one was really cool. I was really, really shocked that I remembered what he looked like. But last year, I didn't bring these cards with me because he wasn't racing in IndyCar anymore. And I was standing by the Foyt garages, And I was like, holy crap, that guy kind of looks familiar. Someone goes up to him and asks, hey, can you sign these cards for me? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have mine. I could have gotten them autographed. Who knows if he'll be back here again. So I brought them this year just in case. And after a bunch of the qualifying runs, I see a guy walk by, and I think he was hugging Felix Rosenqvist and kind of chatting with him. And I'm like, he's got that face. He's got the hat from last year. Let me see if it's him. So I ran up and I said, hey, Benjamin, is that you? And he turned around and I was like, would you be willing to sign a few cards for me? He said, absolutely. So I got all 5 of my Benjamin Peterson cards signed from last year's set. Super, super nice guy. Really sucks that he only really got one chance. I know he wasn't like the greatest driver in the 55, but again, super cool guy. Sounds like he's good friends with a lot of the drivers there. So the fact that he was wearing the same hat and glasses that he wore to last year's Indy 500 allowed me to recognize him. Plus, he's got like a very angular face, and he was cool enough to sign. I think he was walking with his girlfriend or wife, and super, super happy to get those. And then I had bought some of the new Parkside cards, and I was like, man, did they make cards for everyone, or did they like kind of like pick and choose? And then as I was waiting by the McLaren garages, I was like, oh, they did make cards for them. So I went and bought some more packs, pulled these, put them in the binder, and then I think these were the last autographs these were not the last autographs I got from them. But I saw that there was a crowd and a few people running. I ran with them, and I got 2 cards signed by Kyle Larson from this year's set. He does have a pit pass card. I did not get that signed. And then there's like a Rookie of the Year or something that I also have, but I didn't get that one autographed. Here is the big one. Holy crap. This was, wow. So we're there waiting for media and, the drivers to come through. And a couple drivers had snubbed us and whatnot. So we're all kind of just talking together, trying to figure out, like, okay, who is going to come along? Who isn't? Do I have stuff for them? Everything, this and that. So Kyle Larson's coming up. And we're all debating, like, is Kyle Larson actually going to stick around and sign? Is he going to be too busy and try to leave and whatnot? And the way that they did this was there was a section of the barricade that opened up so that they could bring carts in, little golf carts, to drive the drivers out of there. And so they would have to move people, get the cart in, and there was usually just some, mom, wife, girlfriend, someone from the team there to pick them up. And the one for Kyle Larson pulls up, and there's a legend on there. And he's waving, saying hi, and all this and that. We're all like, we love you, and blah, 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 this and that. He pulls out a gold Sharpie and starts signing, and I'm like, holy crap, this is my chance. Like, I'm not going to get as good of a chance as this. So I brought several trading cards, and I brought a hero card. I was like, well, I want the trading cards first because I'm working on these sets. And I was like, do I go... I tried to limit it so I didn't look selfish. Do I go with one of the pages that has 2 cards and maybe have a good shot? Or do I pull out the page with 3 cards because it has 1 card that I've been trying for 10 years to get signed? So I was like, we're going to go for it. I pull out the page with 3 cards, and I'm like, hey, can you sign this one? Because I figured he would only do 1. And to my and everyone else's surprise, Jeff Gordon signed 3. Now, the signatures are not the best. He kind of rushed them, and yes, this card is damaged. It got damaged last year before the Brickyard. It's whatever. But he signed all 3 of these. This one definitely would never pass PSA. And then this one came out decently. But I had just started to kind of point at that one just to have that signed, and he just very quickly like hit all 3 of them and moved on. And I was like, no freaking way. Like, there's no way that just happened. I've gotten Jeff Gordon before. I've had opportunities to get Jeff Gordon before. But this one was just, everyone around me was shocked because they were like, he's almost always a 1 per. And for me, I don't know what it was, but for whatever reason, he hit all three. Even if it wouldn't pass PSA, he pulled out his own gold Sharpie and was signing with it. And thank God it worked. And I got, technically this one doesn't count because it's a sample, but I got it from a binder that was almost the full set. So we're just going to count that. We're, forget it and whatnot. But wow, was that an experience. And I'm trying to not make this video a half hour. So let's get on to the customs from Saturday. First one, pole winner, Robert Schwartzman. The other strategy that I do is basically hang out in the garages until the very end of qualifying. Because as drivers finish up their runs, most of them will be happy that they at least made the field and aren't on bump day. So if it's a bump day guy, you're probably not going to get them. Several other drivers are going to be jubilant that they made it to the Fast 12. So almost everyone that came back through signed at some point. There were also several legends that passed through. Got to see Poncho Carter. He's doing some stuff for Dale Coyne. He's looking a lot better this year. The past couple years, looking really, really rough. Like I said, my family has some personal connections to his family. Not directly with Poncho, but he also doesn't live that far from me. So really, really nice guy. Got Simon Pagenaud again. He stopped and signed for a bunch of people in Gasoline Alley, and I was like, well, I might as well get another one of these. Dario signed for a few of us. Kiffin Simpson walked through again. I think I got this signed during the post-media stuff. This is a new name for the collection. I don't really do a whole lot of media and sportscasters and everything, but Bob Pockris, excuse me, got Jack Harvey on a custom during the post-media stuff. Almost didn't get him because when he was out signing, that was when the Colton Herta crash happened. So everyone just kind of stopped. It was completely silent on the track because, Herta slid on the top of the car, but thank God for that halo. That saved him twice now from something really, really bad happening. But Jack was like, I don't really know what to do right now. And a couple of us were calling him over. He's like, I guess it's okay to sign. Herta got out of the car. So that was a weird experience. Got another one from Pillow. As always, he is such a cool guy. He stopped and signed for everyone. Got one from David Malukas. And then this is Callum Ayalot and his amazing signature. Excuse me. Doing a lot of talking tonight. This is the only autograph I got of this guy from this weekend. He signed a couple times if you got him after like a long meeting. We really wasn't wanting to wait for him forever for some stuff. But I got one of his older hero cards that I bought off of eBay, and just not a great experience overall. Most of the time when he was done with his runs and going back, he'd just hop on his scooter and just drive past everyone, wouldn't even, look. The last time he walked, and so I asked him, got no response. I was like, all right, he's in a mood. And then he signed for a kid, so I went back up again. I was like, is it okay if I get a hero card signed? And he just kind of snatched it out of my hand, signed it, and then almost threw it back at me. But I did get an Alexander Rossi autograph. Turned out decent. I mean, he was not happy to be signing it. And I was like, you could just say no. But it is what it is. I'm happy to get something. I like the guy as a driver, but, disappointing how that went. Got TK again. I could have gotten my last hero card signed. Saw him first thing this morning. And I was like, I got another hero card for him. And I was looking, and I was like, oh, I must have gotten that done yesterday. And so he left. And then I looked through my binder again. I'm like, crap, I confused this for the other person that I needed some stuff signed for. The back of the hero cards are the same color, so I was a little ticked about that. Got Ryan Hunter-Ray. I don't know if I got both of these. I think I got these at different times. But I don't remember if I got both of them at the media availability. I got Pato walking around. I I think I got him during the media thing. He didn't sign for everyone, but I think I got that one there. So to our surprise, Kyle Larson did come by and sign for everyone after Jeff Gordon was done signing. So this is this year's double hero card. Didn't see any more out there, so I imagine they probably won't be back out till Carb Day or Legends Day. And then we got Scott Dixon, who came around and signed for everyone. So I was like, okay, I want to get this one. That one looks cool. Didn't get him after the post-media stuff, but I did cross paths with him when he was coming back from the track. Joseph Newgarden. Callum Ilott signed 2 for me. And he's always a pretty cool guy. But I think he was more than happy to sign because there was a girl standing next to me who had one of those kind of like wooden signs commemorating the 500, and her silver Sharpie died, and he was like, oh crap, oh no, what am I going to do? And I handed him my paint pen, it's a silver one, and I was like, see if that works, and that one came out, and I was looking at the girl, and I was like, those Sharpies suck. 1 minute they work, and the next minute they don't, and Ilott was like, oh my god, I hate those things. Not exactly like that, but he was like, yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's awful. Just they're super inconsistent. But he was cool enough to sign both of those for me. Got Nolan Siegel walking around. I think this was at the very end of the day. He had just finished up an interview. I don't think he was in the greatest mood, but he was still cool enough to sign. Surprisingly, he didn't stop to sign for everyone after the media availability stuff. I got a really rough autograph from Ed Carpenter when walking around. And then I got 2 better ones later on during the day, including his from this year. He signed for everyone Takuma Sato on this year's hero card. This piece I worked on over several days, so technically I didn't get 77 autographs on Saturday. I think 2 of these I got on Saturday, and then one of them I got on Thursday or Friday. But I got this hero card on eBay, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. And then I looked at the back, I'm like, holy crap, all 3 of those guys will be there. Took some work, but I got this Chip Ganassi Racing from when they had NASCAR and IndyCar, Dixon, Larson, and Kanaan. Funny enough, I got Kyle first. He was the easiest one to get. Kanaan, I don't even remember when I got him, but he did stop and sign it. And then Dixon was the last one, and he kind of... This might have been the one that I got signed. Yeah, this was the one I got signed during the post-media availability, because I was like, I have to get him. If he's going to stop and sign for everyone, I have to get him. And he gave a really good signature for that one. Got a couple from Santino Ferrucci. I got his trading card signed after the qualifications. These ones I got at his pit. I got Devlin after he was done I think that was post-qualifying. Renus, even though he wasn't really in the best of... Like, he wasn't, like, rude or anything, but you could tell he was not really feeling it, but he still signed for everyone that asked. Stingray, I think that was the last hero card that I had for him. And then Harvey was just out and about signing a bunch, so I said, I'll get another one. So that was just Saturday. I got a few more for Sunday to share with you guys. All right, I will try to make today's recap quick, but went to bump day, pole position day, qualifications today. And like previous years, not as fruitful as Saturday just because not every driver is available. A lot of them just kind of hang out and, just rest all day if they're already qualified. Some of them will come out to support their teammates. A lot of the top 12 guys will sign. And then the bump day guys are usually really, really stressed out, so it's kind of tough to get their autographs. But did do pretty decently. Let's see, what's the number that I got? 32. Wow. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. So, yeah, decent day today. Nice way to end a long week of 6 days straight at the track. So, we're going to start off. I met him twice. First time he signed 2. He was very gracious to sign in the morning. And then he signed just one for me before he went to go attempt to qualify. And then he did not qualify because he and his teammate were busted for potential cheating, or at least were disqualified from qualifying. So they never even made a run. But I got willpower. So this one, he said, I'm just going to do one. But then in the morning, he signed both of those. Great signatures. Then I got another one from Bobby Rahal. He was out and about signing. I was waiting for someone else, and I was like, screw it, this is taking too long. I'm just going to go walk around. And I got him and another guy like immediately after walking away, so I'm glad I did that. Got two from Erickson, who was kind of getting fed up with some people that were constantly hounding him for autographs. So these ones weren't as good, but still his signature is pretty simple, so kind of hard to tell the difference. I did end up getting three from Newgarden as he was walking out to qualify, and mostly because he had to pee really bad. So he had come out of his garage, signed for a few people, big crowd, and he was like, hey guys, I'm sorry, but like I really gotta pee. So he went to the restroom, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well if he's gonna go pee and he has to go qualify, I'm like, he's not coming back to his garage where like a bunch of people were saying, I'm like, he's gonna be coming out the other side. So I walked down the hallway by the bathrooms where they have them between the garages. And as I walk out the other side, a bunch of people like rushed me, and I was like, oh God, what's happening? And I turn around and Newgarden's right there. So I had just passed by the door as he was walking out. And so he signed for a couple of them, and then there was only like 2 or 3 of us. I handed him my sheet, and I was like, hey, whatever you got time for, I know you're busy. And he signed all 3 of them and gave decent signatures on each. So, there's probably a good reason his PR has been a lot better, because Penske keeps getting caught cheating. So regardless, I still like him as a driver, as a person. He's been a lot better the past 2 years. I wonder why. But still really happy to get those. Got the Champions card signed by Dev. He was just out and about walking. And I finished the cards that I have. I don't have all the cards for the set, but I finished the cards that I have for Scott Dixon. Got him 3 separate times today. He signed 2 in the morning, 1 as he was going toward the Ganassi Suites, and then 1 more time before he headed out for his qualification run. Got another one from Kiffin Simpson, because I couldn't remember if I had this card signed by him or not. I think I did. Not a big deal. This took an hour and a half to get, but it was worth it. I think he noticed that me and my buddy Matt, because Matt and I hung out most of the day, because once they're out qualifying, there's like no one in the garages, that we were standing there waiting for him, and gave a quick signature, but still happy to get it. Elio Castroneves, because he was jumping between 2 different pit boxes. Felix Rosenfist was in the top 12, did really well, and then Marcus Armstrong, after having to go to a backup car and dealing with injury and everything like that, was in the bottom 4, and he did really well. So Elio was in a good mood, and then when we asked him if he could sign, he was like, meet me down there. And so he gave us quick signatures, but I'm still really happy to get him. And then this guy, I'm a big fan of him. Had a really tough time after the start of the week, even trying to get him. Every time I tried, he was either on his way out, or he was in a meeting, or he was avoiding people. And on Saturday, he was just having none of it. I guess he wasn't happy with the car. But today, because he wasn't running, he was already qualified. He was just kind of out and about hanging out with everyone. He was in front of the Dreyer Reinbold garages, so I thought it was Jack Harvey signing, but then I looked again, I'm like, that's not Jack. And I got him on all 3 cards I needed. Kyle Kirkwood. He was the other guy that I met when I walked away after standing for like 20 minutes for another guy. I don't remember who it was, but I got Ray Hall and Kirkwood within like a minute of each other doing that. So that's all the trading cards that I got signed. I got 3 custom 4x6s. First one, Mario Andretti. Bit of a rough signature, but he was on the pit box when Marco was running, and Marco did pretty well, so Mario stopped and took a bunch of pictures and signed a couple autographs. And then there was a bit of a gap, and I said, hey, Mario, you got a second? He walked over and signed, so I was really happy with that. And then I couldn't find the tickets that I had. I've been trying for 3 years to get those signed. Still don't have them signed. But I was like, I'm not going to let him walk away without an autograph. Ari Leyendyke, I didn't see him at all until today. And I guess in the morning, he walked out at some point and had these like cool collage photos of his career that were pre-signed, and he was just handing them out to people. Would have loved to have gotten one of those. First autograph of today, Michael Shank of Meyer Shank Racing. And then we got some hero cards. Not a ton of them. Well, actually, pretty decent amount. I got 4 from Graham Rahal. And I think by getting him today, that meant I got every single person who was entered this year. Because I could not get Graham anywhere else. But as we were waiting for Elio, they were doing an interview with Graham. They're like, he's out signing autographs. He's happy, that he's not in bump day for the 3rd year in a row and all that. And Graham was like, yeah, it was tough, but we're in. We don't have to worry. He's like, it's a stress-free day, so I'm just here to hang out with the fans. And I was like, crap, Elio's going to take forever. I'm going to miss out on my chance with Graham. We got Elio right after. I bum rushed to the pits because that interview took forever, and he signed both of these for me. So this is this year's United Rentals. I'm glad I grabbed these when I did because I didn't see them again as the days went on, or as the days went on. And then I saw him again walking through the pits or walking through the garages. I grabbed 2 and I was like, do you mind signing a couple? And he couldn't really decide if he wanted me to walk with him or if he wanted to stand and sign. So the signatures didn't come out the best, but I did finally get this one autographed. And then this is another one that I bought off of eBay. So they're decent, just not as crisp as his autograph usually is. I actually got 2 from this guy. My buddy Matt was calling me and telling me where he was at, and we were trying to meet up because we haven't gotten to see each other in a while. And as he was talking to me, this driver popped down and I was like, hey, Pato's here. I just put my phone in my pocket and just ignored him. So sorry, Matt. But he understands. I know he does. This was probably the best mood that Pato was in because he actually signed 2 for me, but I'm only counting 1 because the other one is a gift for a coworker. So I will be giving that to him tomorrow. But Pato was willing to sign 2. He signed for just about everyone. Got Santino again as he was walking around. I don't think he had to qualify today, but he was making the rounds, being real cool. Connor Daly, saw him drive around on his cart, and I was like, well, my first one didn't turn out that great. Hopefully this one does. And that one, much clearer signature. This I got signed as he was heading into the Ganassi Suites, because I was standing talking with another guy as we were waiting for Pato, and I was like, hey, Scott Dixon's coming by. And he's like, where? I'm like, right there, black shirt, black hat. He's like, what? And I kept pointing at him, and during that time, I'm getting the hero card out. And so I was like maybe the second person to ask Scott, and he didn't really want to sign, but since there weren't really that many of us trying to get him, he kind of lined up a bit. There was another collector there. I've seen him a bunch of times. We talked a few times before. Still don't know his name, but we were just kind of chatting about some stuff that was going on during the day and previous autograph experiences and whatnot. And I had gotten this guy at the Prima Garages and didn't see him after that. And he pointed him out. He's like, hey, you need him? And I was like, yes, I do actually. So I got both of my Ryan Briscoe hero cards that I bought autographed. And then one of the last autographs I got for the day, kind of similar to Ray Hall. Couldn't really decide whether he wanted me to walk with him or not, and so it was kind of like a slow walk, and the signature came out sloppy, but I got another Lundgaard. I said I tried to not make it a 30-minute video. Now it's 35 minutes. But excellent week. I'm exhausted. I'm going to get these autographs put into a pile to start sorting another day and getting all that taken. Oh, wait, no, I don't get to do that. I have to post these on Instagram. I'll figure that out one of these days. But really, really happy with how this year has gone. Got to go so many extra days, even if it was only for a couple hours each day. Again, number-wise, not as good as last year, but the quality of this year was top-notch. And it's not the end either. I am debating on going to Carb Day. I'm not going tomorrow. There's no need. I don't know exactly how Carb Day works, but from what I've heard, some people said it's a good opportunity to get some autographs. There's still a few things I'd like to get signed. But if not, I'm going to Legends Day, hoping to get one of the Legends Day wristbands because it sounds like they're limiting them even further. And the way that it works is kind of crappy because even though I'm going to be able to get in an hour early, there will already be people in line that have been standing there for 20, 30 minutes. Don't know how they do it. We're going to try and get one of those and then hang out and do the full field autograph session, get as many drivers as I can there, walk around the garages a little bit, grab the last few hero cards that I need, and then hang out for Legends Day, try to get anyone who passes through and hopefully go through at least one of the lines. So this year is not over for the Indy 500, but this week is over, and I am going to enjoy having time during the day to do stuff like mow my yard, which I haven't done in over a week. I went and bought groceries after going to the track because I needed food. It's going to be nice to rest, but I'm going to rest my voice now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you really, really enjoyed this. It's a lot of work to put in, a lot of money to put in, but the experiences, the memories, shout out to my buddies Tyler, Matt, Todd, and all the other people that I don't know your names yet, but one of these days I will ask. And, you know, it was another great year. Really happy with how it turned out. So that is it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Best of luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.